if I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him.
Maybe someone's reacted to that news. I don't know, or maybe it just fell through. No. But it sounds to me that the move to fight Jake Paul has just maybe derailed the other fight. But I don't blame Canelo Alvarez, because financially, the bigger fight is Canelo-Jake Paul. Yeah. Because in that fight, you've got two big stars. Yeah. In the other fight, you've got two great fighters and one big star.
Has slammed Canelo Alvarez for reportedly cancelling their highly anticipated fight. The two boxing superstars were deep in negotiations, with Ring magazine initially reporting that a deal had been finalized for a blockbuster showdown in Nevada this fall. However, new reports now claim the agreement has collapsed as both camps remain unsatisfied with the terms. Ring magazine confirmed the shocking development in a tweet, stating, "The planned Canelo Alvarez vs Terence Crawford fight is now off, the Ring has learnt." Adding to the controversy, YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul has faced intense backlash for his alleged role in the fight's abrupt cancellation. Many fans believe Canelo's rumored tune-up match against the social media star played a key part in derailing the bout. Reacting to the situation, Peep Games posted on X, formerly Twitter its official, Saul, Canelo Alvarez ducked the number 1 pound 4 pound fighter, Terence, but Crawford. Canelo is now the undisputed biggest coward in boxing history, the biggest duck of all time. Meanwhile, Turki Al-Sheikh, the financial powerhouse behind securing Canelo vs Crawford, has been vocal about his disapproval of Jake Paul's presence in boxing. As the mastermind behind Riyadh season matchups, he has repeatedly criticized YouTubers stepping into the ring, arguing that their involvement undermines the sport's integrity.
And Terence Crawford, who should be a big star, but the reality is isn't. He's just an unbelievable fighter. So listen, everything can change overnight, as you saw.
Yeah.
So don't rule out Canelo Crawford. But as I'm hearing, Canelo Jake Paul is done, and I get it. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Mad old game. Eddie, always a pleasure, mate. Really appreciate the time.
Listen, buck up your ideas.
I can believe that Canelo's willingness to entertain Paul has been a key factor in derailing negotiations for the highly anticipated super middleweight. Clash fans clamored for Canelo to challenge IBF title holder William Skull in a bid to reclaim undisputed super middleweight status. That showdown would have set the stage for two future Hall of Famers battling for all four belts, a far cry from the spectacle of a man whose last triumph came at the expense of a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. Canelo Lesnar tweeted on X, saying, "Although it's still not clear why Canelo vs Crawford was cancelled, many insiders are speculating that a simple reply may have triggered the dispute after Bud's strong words for Teofimo Lopez. Canelo requires TEO to be Crawford's next opponent before himself." Crawford, a long cry from a former Disney child actor, also defeated Israel Madrimov at the stadium. The internet has been buzzing with speculation about a possible showdown between Canelo and Paul, but there isn't a shred of evidence to suggest negotiations ever took place up until now. World Boxing News has steered clear of the rumor mill. However, the landscape shifted when the Crawford fight was relocated from T-Mobile Arena to the Raiders' home turf. In today's world, nothing is off the table. However, the likelihood of a four-division champion holding WBO, WBA, and WBC titles stepping into the ring with Paul at this stage of his career is virtually non-existent. What does Canelo stand to gain from such a matchup, and would a fight like this even draw a crowd in Las Vegas, a city that prides itself on showcasing boxing at its highest level? It's unlikely, but in this digital era, even casually testing the waters for a fight can ripple into real-world consequences, often to the detriment of all involved. Boxing fans are left disappointed and frustrated after rumors of a potential super fight between Canelo and Crawford were shut down. The highly anticipated showdown between two of boxing's biggest stars had fans buzzing with excitement. However, the latest news has sparked a wave of backlash from the boxing community, with many expressing their discontent over how the situation unfolded. One fan voiced their frustration, criticizing how such fights are often mishandled. "Boxing is a joke, sometimes prematurely announcing our agreements with no paperwork signed." This comment shows a growing sentiment among boxing enthusiasts who are tired of false promises and premature announcements that never materialize into actual bouts. Another fan lamented the emotional roller coaster of getting hyped up only to be let down. They added, "They got us all hyped up to break our hearts in pieces." This disappointment is understandable given how rare it is to see undisputed champions from different weight classes meet in the ring. The hope of witnessing history was swiftly replaced with frustration. Some fans took the conversation further, pointing out the overwhelming support Terence Crawford had received in hypothetical matchups. This fan said the support for Crawford to win the fight is overwhelming. Canelo Crawford recently cemented his status as the best pound-for-pound fighter after his dominant victories. Many believe he could have presented a serious challenge to Canelo. However, others speculated that contractual complications may have played a role in derailing the fight. This fan-speculated rumor has it Canelo saw the fine print and the contract stated that the winner had to fight Benavidez. This speculation refers to David Benavidez, the super middleweight. A contender known for his aggressive style and relentless pressure, a mandatory fight with Benavidez could pose significant risks for either fighter, adding an extra layer of complexity to the potential deal. Not everyone viewed the cancellation as bad news, though some fans believe it may have been a blessing in disguise for Crawford, this fan added. Crawford dodged a bullet with that Canelo fight cancellation. Dude can't cut to 168, and taking that cash grab would have just tarnished his legacy. Let's keep it real, while Crawford is undoubtedly a generational talent, moving up to 168 pounds to face a seasoned super middleweight like Canelo would have been a monumental challenge. Some feel that the risk far outweighed the reward and that staying in his natural weight class could preserve Crawford's legacy. This isn't the news boxing fans were hoping for, especially after such a long and eager wait. For a brief moment, it felt like anticipation would finally give way to reality. Reports had hinted that negotiations for the Canelo Alvarez vs Terence Crawford mega fight were making real progress, but now it seems the historic clash between these two pound-for-pound legends might not come to fruition after all. The exact reasons behind the fight's cancellation have yet to be confirmed. However, the significant weight disparity between Crawford and Alvarez has been a major point of contention. Many experts and former champions expressed concerns about Crawford's decision to move up 2 weight classes. David Benavidez entered the picture. Maybe it was time in an interview with Ariel Helwani. David Benavidez, who secured a victory in the title eliminator against Morrell, shared his preference for Dmitry Bivol. Benavidez believes that if Bivol, who famously defeated Canelo Alvarez 2 years ago, emerges victorious in this title bout, it would significantly bolster his standing in the division.
Are you, David, that you will fight the winner of Beterbiev Bivol?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. To be honest, the only thing that I'm thinking about is that if Bivol wins this fight, like what they would have to do a rubber match, you know what I mean? And like I'm just like thinking, who am I to say that they can't fight another fight because they've fought 2 great fights. So that's basically the only thing I'm thinking of right now. But I would, if that's something like that would happen, I think I wouldn't fight until they get that done with, and then I would move into that fight after they have a trilogy. So that's really the only thing I'm thinking right now.
But that would be a long break for you. Like, let's say conceivably they fight again October, who knows?
Crawford stands on the brink of making history as the first 3-division undisputed champion. If Alvarez is no longer in the picture, Crawford could shift his focus to a series of unification bouts. However, that path could lead him to a showdown with Sebastian Fundora, with whom he has already traded verbal jabs in an online sparring match. Criticism has been abundant, with many believing that Crawford's technical brilliance would give him a decisive edge in the ring. This has led to speculation that Alvarez may be hesitant to take the fight, fearing a 3rd career defeat. While some fans admire Crawford's unmatched skill set, others remain captivated by Alvarez's exceptional boxing, particularly his precise body shots and formidable defense. Forcing a champion to jump 2 weight classes for a fight raises important questions. Is it a fair challenge? What impact would it have on both fighters' legacies? Spectators will have to wait and see how the situation unfolds. Meanwhile, depending on future results, David Benavidez's next moves could shake up the division. If he manages to become the undisputed light heavyweight champion, Canelo Alvarez may find it increasingly difficult to avoid a long-anticipated showdown.
We'll see. I'm gonna rest and talk with my team. And like I say, everybody asking for everything, but and I always did. I always fight with everybody. You asking, so. But right now I'm in the position I can ask him to. So I'm in the position I can ask him to, and I can do whatever I want, and we'll see what happens next.
Crawford had spent nearly a year pushing for a bout with Canelo Alvarez, with both fighters recently meeting Saudi boxing chief Turki Alalshik in London. As a strong supporter of this highly anticipated clash, Alalshik was instrumental in advancing negotiations. Sources indicated that terms were nearly finalized, and an official announcement was expected soon, potentially during UFC 306 in September. During an Instagram live session, Crawford and Alalshik fueled excitement about the fight. Following Crawford's victory over Edgar Berlanga, he seized the moment to call out Canelo. "Yo, Chiri, tell them we're going for Canelo next," Crawford declared. Alalshik responded enthusiastically, "Yes, let's go. Canelo, come on, we are ready." Crawford then doubled down, "You heard it from him. Just put me in the game, Canelo versus Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. But we stay ready so we don't have to get ready." However, amid these serious negotiations, the idea of a potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul remains an undeniable talking point. The reigning unified super middleweight champion stepping into the ring against a former YouTuber with no legitimate elite-level fight seems almost absurd. Yet, speculation about the fight continues to dominate social media, sparking endless debates about whether it could actually happen.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford against Madridov, people are going to say, "Oh, he had some hiccups." Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the. What was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
For now, the actual outcome of the fight is secondary. What's truly astonishing is the frenzy it has generated purely through rumors. This speaks to Jake Paul's undeniable flair for spectacle. Amid the commotion, boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult weighed in, offering valuable insight into the rumored showdown. During a discussion on the topic, Showbiz emphasized that a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez would far surpass any interest generated by a clash with Jake Paul. He pointed out that Canelo needs a May opponent who poses no real risk to his legacy. The big fight is Canelo versus Terence Crawford. Canelo is the heavy favorite in that fight, but that's the fight fans want. "You don't want anything to threaten that fight," he explained. From a financial perspective, Showbiz noted that a bout with Jake Paul could potentially generate more revenue than the Crawford fight, despite offering little competitive value. That's the world we're in. What am I going to say? No matter how much people criticize it, Canelo could secure a massive payday fighting Jake Paul because people will show up, he stated. The commentator further suggested that hatred toward Jake Paul would ironically fuel ticket sales. People want to gather to hate. The backlash over this fight will make people tune in. According to Showbiz, negative sentiment toward Paul has intensified following his scheduled fight against Mike Tyson. Some fans even view Canelo as a superhero figure, potentially redeeming boxing by taking on Paul in the ring. Showbiz the Adult isn't the only insider discussing the rumored matchup. On the MMA Hour, journalist Ariel Helwani also weighed in, acknowledging the speculation while praising Canelo's fight schedule. There are reports that Canelo versus Jake Paul is happening in May. If true, what a freaking year for Canelo Alvarez. 2 gigantic paydays. Helwani remarked. However, he refrained from verifying the legitimacy of the rumors, simply stating that the fight is being widely discussed. For now, speculation continues to swirl, leaving fans divided. Some see the potential bout as a mockery of the sport, while others recognize it as a strategic business move.